What are irrational numbers? What are their properties? Examples and solutions to irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are of great importance, especially at the point of education of students. It also represents an important potential in the point of solutions made in everyday life. So, what are irrational numbers? What are their properties? Examples of irrational numbers and what to know about their solutions. What are irrational numbers? What are their properties? Examples and solutions to irrational numbers. The real numbers are divided into two different varieties. One of them is rational numbers and the other is irrational numbers. In other words, real numbers are not divided into any category other than them. A non-rational number is irrational, while a non-irrational number is rational. In this direction, some of the main figures are known as irrational. These numbers have properties and ways of using them in mathematics. What are irrational numbers? In short, all numbers that are not rational in real numbers are called irrational numbers. In other words, numbers other than the normal numbers used in everyday life are known as irrational. Irrational numbers can enter multiplication and division operations with addition and subtraction with rational numbers. Irrational numbers are very important at the point of different mathematical operations and students' education. What are the properties of irrational numbers? Irrational numbers come to the fore with many different characteristics. First, it is possible to say that it can be subjected to all kinds of operations with rational numbers. These include addition, subtraction or multiplication and division. Another feature is that when rational and irrational come together as a result of these operations, the resulting result is irrational again. In other words, from the moment the rational number is processed by irrational numbers 4, the result is always irrational. Examples and solutions to irrational numbers. Addressing irrational numbers with examples and solutions can have a much more descriptive effect. Examples show how irrationality has a structure, especially at the point where students understand it better. It is necessary to start by showing which figures are irrational. The number pi is an irrational number. Square-rooted numbers that are not complete squares are irrational numbers. Becoming irrational as a result of the square root of a decimal number with a comma after 0. It is an irrational number that the part to the right of the comma is a single digit. In other words, other numbers other than all normal numbers, such as 1, 2, or 5 and 10, are known as irrational. In this direction, irrational numbers do not become rational in any way. For this reason, they are also known as irrational numbers.